At Home Eats, I'm Shelby B, the RD, and in this video, I'm gonna make my caramelized apple Irish soda bread. Now, I wanted to make something special for St. Patrick's Day, and I know that this can be eaten in the morning with some coffee or for dessert with some Greek yogurt, so let's get started. All right, so first I'm gonna start off with this clean apple here, and I'm gonna slice it to make sure that it's thin, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna caramelize this on top of the stove with a whole lot of great ingredients like cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom, and vanilla. Okay, so we're gonna remove all the seeds out. Oop, lost one. Move all the seeds out this way. Make sure we don't get any of the pit in there. So I'm just cutting off the top so we're not getting the top of the pit in there either. I just used a small apple, that's all you really need. Alright, so let's take it over to the oven so we can saute it on top of the stove. We're going to place some olive oil in the pan here on medium heat and let that get a little warm. Then we're going to add in our apples and saute those. And once it starts to sizzle a little bit, then we're going to add in our cinnamon, so 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom, and then we're just going to stir and saute for about 3 to 5 minutes until softened. And while we're doing that, then we're going to preheat our oven to 375. Now that our apples are caramelized, now we're going to start with our dry ingredients. So first I'm going to do 2 cups of white flour. It's a little bit. Let's see if we can get some more. Oh, a little mess there. Okay, so we got 1 cup. It's okay if it spills on the table because we're actually going to use this table to fold all the dough together. Alright, so we got 2 cups of that. There we got 1 cup of whole wheat flour. Okay, so we've got that in there. Then we're going to add our brown sugar. Okay, so we're going to do 1/4 cups of brown sugar. It can be dark brown, it can be light brown, it doesn't matter. I'm using dark brown. A little bit more. Just get the 1/4 cups. Okay. So now we have the 1/4 cups, and now we're gonna add in our baking soda. So we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Alright, so we're gonna sprinkle that in there. So now we've got that. And I have a non-stick spoon because I want to make sure that I can fold this, especially when it's wet, and it not stick on the spoon and things like that. So I have a non-stick spoon here. And I'm going to add some salt to this as well. For salt, we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of the salt. The salt is very important in baking. That's something that I think a lot of people don't realize, right? So we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon here. And I use pink Himalayan salt. Use whatever you got, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna stir like we have here. Just gonna kind of get these larger pieces together. All right, so now that that's thoroughly mixed, then we're gonna add in our butter. Okay, so we're gonna basically cut in our butter about a stick or so. I have the smaller ones, and I had it sitting out so it can get soft. So we've got our butter that's been cut in chunks, so then we're just going to add this to the dry ingredients, okay? Alright, I'm going to do the last. Alright, so we're going to get messy right now. So we're going to add our butter in by our hands. And this is going to help kind of distribute it throughout the dry mixture, okay? You do the same thing, something similar when you make like biscuits or something like that, or scones that we made in the last video. So we're just gonna mix with our hands, get your kids involved certainly in a space that is special for them, so they can wash their hands immediately, right? Alright. like that. It doesn't take much, especially when it's already soft. You're just trying to make sure that almost all of your flour here gets nice loving, and it should feel kind of soft and kind of crumbly, and that's what it feels like. So what I'm doing now is I'm making a well, and we're going to get our wet ingredients and add them in here, okay? So a well there, and let me go wash my hands. Let's start with our wet ingredients. So we're going to do 1 3/4 cups of buttermilk. All right, so we got those, and we're good with that. And then we're going to do 1 egg. And like that, okay? So we're going to 1 egg, and then we're going to mix those together. All right, so we're going to mix this together. Buttermilk and the egg, hair out of the way. And because I want it to have a lot of flavor, I'm gonna add in some vanilla, okay? So I'm just gonna eyeball it to about like a teaspoon, okay? Just to give it more flavor. Just more flavor isn't always a bad thing, right? Okay, so that's good. And we're going to add this to our dry ingredients, okay? So we're just going to add that into the well that we made. And I'm going to take my non-stick spoon and just fold it inward, okay? And start to incorporate. All right, so right when it starts to get sticky, like right now, then we're going to add in our apples. They're nice and caramelized. You're going to add in those. And don't be alarmed, I know they look dark, but that's just the seasonings and things like that. They're definitely not burnt for sure. Caramelization. Okay, so this is super sticky, is what we're getting at. Okay. We're going to put this down on a well-floured surface here. So I'm just going to put in a little bit extra because I don't want it to stick. I want it to incorporate. Alright, so we got the apples in there. The cinnamon. It smells great. It's way easier to get off the spoon. It doesn't stick as much, so that's why we can use that. Alright, so now we're adding more flour from the surface onto the dough. And we're just going to knead it. Okay, and the kneading process gets that extra little flour in there, and then helps when it cooks in the oven that it has like the holes in there, and you'll see where the butter formed in the inside. Okay, so I think this is a really good dough, you guys. And over here I have a parchment paper. Also, it's sprayed with non-stick. I just want to be safe. I don't want this to stick. So as you can see, I'm now forming it into a round kind of ball here. Okay, I'll flip it really quick. I'm gonna flip it back over. Okay, perfect. Alright, so then we're going to get this and put it on our baking sheet. Drop that down there like that. So you guys can see. Alright. Then I have a knife here, and because we're making Irish soda bread, we've got to put the X on the top. Okay. So again, I'll show you guys here. Okay, so Irish soda bread. Then we're going to put it in the oven. It's going to cook for about 40-45 minutes until it is brown, and it has kind of like a hollow sound when you thump it. Okay. All right, so it's in the oven. So we wait, and I'll wash my hands. So here is our loaf. It smells great. It's nice and hot. I'm gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes just so it kind of settles, and then we're gonna taste it. All right, so now that it's cooled down a bit, I'm gonna use a serrated knife, okay? And we're just gonna cut right into it. Ooh, you can tell it's like nice and soft on the inside. The way the knife just like cut through this. It's nice and like crunchy on the bottom. I can actually see like the apples and the cinnamon like coming through. So this is exciting. Okay. All right, so we got one piece here. Ooh, look how hot that is. I wish there was like smell-o-vision so you guys could smell this. But look at that. Look at that. Look at this. You guys. The apples, the cinnamon. Oh my god. Okay. It's nice and soft on the inside, like I said. This is really hot, you guys. I'm gonna taste a piece of the part, this part right here. You guys, it's so good. It's like a large biscuit almost with like apples in it. And you can really taste like cardamom, the cinnamon, the nutmeg. I would love this with some coffee right now. I think it would be amazing. But you guys, make sure you check this out. It's really easy, really simple. It allows you to get some fiber in the morning from the apples and from the whole wheat flour. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out my website, shelbybtherd.com, to download my free ebook that has 10 free easy recipes that are RD approved. And let me know what you think of this recipe below. Hit that subscribe button for more easy recipes to come. And I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. See you guys next time. Bye.